burial is underway in Mthwalume in KwaZulu-Natal for one of the victims. At least 5 women have been found in an area in the past 4 months. A suspect committed suicide while in police custody. Our reporter Dasen Thathiah is following that story for us live now. Dasen, how are things going at the moment? I can see there are a number of people behind you there that are going about with preparations.
Well, Marina, Zama Chiliza has just been laid to rest. Her funeral has been going on for the last hour or so at her home in Nkambeni. You'll remember that she disappeared in the first week of July. She'd left home, this is her home in fact, and she'd left here with her daughter to collect a grant. And while she was with her daughter, they separated for a short while, and her daughter then lost track of her and never saw her again. Her daughter had come home to report back to the family that she had lost her mum, and that was the last that the family had seen of her. So a very emotional day here, particularly for that young girl. She's about 15 years old, as she watched her mother being laid to rest. But this comes during a week where lots happened for this community, particularly that court case that was meant to get underway at the beginning of the week, and at the last moment we found out that after the first suspect, or the prime suspect, had committed suicide, the second suspect in that case was actually not going to appear because there was insufficient evidence against him. So there's been a lot of questions that have been asked in this community, a lot of anger and a lot of sadness. And I want to bring in Lucky Buyeni now, who's with the Mthwalume CPF. Lucky, I'll just get to this just as proceedings wrap up here. Lucky, I know that for many in this community there is still a lot of anger. We saw it outside court. What is the general feeling, or what are some of those questions that are being asked to people like yourselves who are in these leadership positions?
Okay, thank you. Our question is that Mr. Como can't be alone on this, but we need more people. But we had our own private investigators with Mr. Gasa, Sia Gasa. And while this investigation is going on, and the police stopped us, they said there is no arrest after Como committed suicide inside the cell. But now we got so many questions that has not been answered about this matters, what's going on. And the community in this area, they are so scared because they believe that Como can't be alone in this crime what he was doing in this area.
What I'm taking away from you, Buyeni, is that although the police have said that was the prime suspect in this case, there isn't any closure for this community. There's still fear.
Yes. They still fear that there is someone else in this, not only Como, but according to the police, they said Como commit himself in the cells, that he is in charge of all this death of these ladies in this area.
And that brings me to my next question, because there is still a woman in this area that is currently missing. There's been no trace of her. I believe she comes from the Miende family. Can you please just give us some details on that particular case?
Yes, we're still looking for that Miende girl, because she's been missing. I think this is the 3rd week now. She's been missing. Yesterday we went and visited family, and the situation in that house is not so good. But the thing is, the suspect who was killing all these girls, he was targeting all these houses that they don't have any money to help themselves. Now we're trying to help all this family now to get the funeral and all these things.
And lastly, are there any other cases that are currently open of missing persons that you know of?
Yes, but on my side, I only got this in Miende, because that other 2 with the son, that one we managed to get that girl. Yes.
Thank you very much, Lucky Buyeni. So the immediate concern here now, just as on the back of Zama Chiliza's funeral, and as this family finally gets some closure, there is another family not far away, the Miende family, and they are still hoping for the safe return of their daughter who disappeared recently.
Well, that's where we're going to leave it now. Thank you very much, Dasen Thathiah. That lady that he mentions, Dasen Thathiah, who was last seen a month ago when she was leaving for work. Of course, the family and the community and the rest of the country, I would imagine, is praying for her safe return.